Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's very good to see you all here in the forum of the group exhibit Hydrogen Fuel Cells and Batteries. I would like to invite you to come closer, have a seat here, have a drink on the house, and discuss with us, because the next topic will be quite interesting. It will be all about the industrialization of hydrogen and fuel cell technology. So we are in Marketplace here on the group exhibit, and we are right on the edge to industrialization. And we will talk about this with the Deputy Chairperson of the German Hydrogen and Fuel Cell Association, dem Deutschen Wasserstoff- und Brennstoffzellen-Verband e.V. And we'll have the Deputy Chairperson, Dr. Johannes Töpler, here with us. Dr. Töpler, please give him a big hand.
Good. Hello.
Very good to have you here, Dr. Töpler. Dr. Töpler, we know each other since quite a long time,
yes.
But, and also the German Hydrogen and Fuel Cell Association exists quite a long time, since 1996, so almost 20 years now.
Yes.
Well, when you were founded, your name was not Hydrogen and Fuel Cell Association, but only Hydrogen Association.
Yes.
So in these times, nobody really talked about fuel cell, or did they?
It's correct. Our name was Hydrogen Association, and because the new idea to have new fuels and proper fuels for the future was hydrogen, and we included the fuel cell internally without naming it, because we have seen that the fuel cell, the first idea started just at this time, have very high efficiency, and that the application of hydrogen will be orientated via fuel cells. And later, another association was founded, the German Fuel Cell Association. And we was a little bit concerned, because fuel cell, in addition to hydrogen, was our topic. And therefore, we have taken the name of fuel cell into the name of our association additionally, to demonstrate that we feel responsible for the whole technology.
In those days, it was all about hydrogen, really, because I can remember BMW were producing cars that were burning hydrogen in an internal combustion engine. Something today, well, nobody would ever do again, probably. Or what do you think?
Okay, no, it's correct. BMW was working with internal combustion engines for a long time, but even Daimler did it before. The first fleet in the hand of customers worldwide was done at Daimler in 1982, and it were cars with internal combustion engine and storage of hydrogen via metal hydrides, and it was a technology which was the safest at this time, and it was in the hand of customers. And the fuel cells which were available at this time were conventional fuel cells with liquid catalyst, with liquid electrolyte, sorry, and
they were very heavy. I can remember the first cars running on streets.
Very heavy.
It was a truck, a heavy-duty truck, you know, just to carry the fuel cells on board.
The technical development came from space. Because in space application, we had the polymer electrolyte fuel cell, which high energy density, high power density, very small, to be placed in a car, and a fuel cell have a much higher efficiency by a factor of 2.5, higher than the internal combustion engine. And then we had not only a new fuel, we had a new technology for using it. With high efficiency, and what's the breaking point to introduce hydrogen?
In these days, we are talking about the late 90s. You were with Daimler at that time, and Daimler was announcing a fuel cell car latest by 2005. Latest, a serious fuel cell car. What happened?
Okay, it was an announcement which was a little bit too quick, or far too quick.
Little bit is, well, you can say little bit.
No, it was far too quick. The fuel cell, at this time when it was announced, the fuel cell was in development, and the first steps of development were very successful. But the main problem of fuel cells, cold start and reliability over a long time, needs a lot of experiments, a lot of improvements, and a lot of modified technologies for the auxiliaries, and therefore this announcement was not reality. But it was a very interesting development. Daimler told we will have cars for public in round about 2004, and a lot of other companies, for example Honda and Toyota, was very astonished about this, and they decided for themselves we have to do it in the same way. And then a development started elsewhere, and therefore Daimler was pushed by its own announcement, and therefore the whole technology was pushed.
And in the end, it was Honda, Hyundai, and Toyota who are releasing the first fuel cell cars. Maybe the same like hybrid technology. This also came from Far East, also from Toyota, and then all the other OEMs in the world had to follow on hybrid propulsion. Now the same story again with the fuel cells cars?
A little bit, yes, but it's a decision of Daimler. Daimler had the first cars which were available for serial production. 3 years ago, they made a turn around the world with 30,000 kilometers in 125 days, and they demonstrated that these cars are available for serial production. And
I would say it doesn't need any demonstration anymore. Everybody knows it works.
Sure. And Daimler internally decided to come very quick into the market with big numbers. And for this, they decided to have a partner. This is Renault. And for the cooperation with Renault, they need a new platform of a completely new car. And then the decision was we want to start a little bit later because we need some time for development in order to start then faster. And that was the decision. It seems to be a prolongation into future, but the real wish is to start with big numbers. And I wish they have a big success.
And you wish, but do you also believe?
I hope so.
I hope so. Let's hope so. Okay, let's see what happens. Well, the other side of the road is we need fuel cell stations, refueling stations.
Yes.
And I have the Clean Energy Partnership here on stage, had them on stage on Tuesday, and they told me, well, we will open up 50 fuel cell stations by the end of 2015, maybe 2016. They have now 17 on the road in Germany. Do you believe them, this figures?
I think so. We have the decision to build up 50 new filling stations, and it should be done within 2015. But there are different locations with different conditions. And for some conditions, the approval for new stations is a little bit more difficult, and maybe we need a little bit more time, maybe 1 or 1.5 years more to have 50. But we need the 50 filling stations.
Definitely, yes.
Because we have the first hydrogen cars on the road from serial production, Toyota Mirai. And we need these cars, we need the filling stations for buses, we need more and more buses. Public looks always for passenger car, but another application are the buses. And we will have much more buses, hydrogen within Europe, not only Germany, and we need filling stations, and I think a number of 15 within the next 1.5 years is real.
Yeah, other places in the world where they are building filling stations, quite a lot of them actually, yes. Even if Japan announced, just recently announced they can't fulfill their targets for this year, California is a place where they build a lot of filling stations, yes. Right at the moment. Maybe this is compared to the low emission program. By 2018 they need 18% of zero zero-emission cars
Yes.
in California. What do you think? Couldn't Europe and Germany learn a lot from California on this?
The situation in California is very fine for cars with zero emission. It's very, very fine. We have in Germany another situation with legislation. It's not so easy in Germany to have the same laws. But the laws in California are very suitable for introduced cars. And we are in discussion with German members of parliament to look for similar laws. We made a parliamentary evening in the embassy of USA in order to present the legislation in California, which helps us to introduce cars. And we are in the discussion with German parliament in order to decide a similar legislation.
Do you really believe we are on the edge of industrialization in the automobile sector? You really believe in it? Or will it be like, well, Toyota may be a little bit successful during the next few years? They're aiming at 10,000s of cars, which is not so much. You know, if you look at the millions they're producing all over the world, will we have a real industrialization in the automobile world, or will that be a niche market for automobile? What do you think?
I think it will start with a niche market, for example, buses, transporters, and so on. But I think we will have to start by this way into a mass production. Look at, for example, for other systems, for example, natural gas cars. It started very, very slowly.
It's still slowly.
It's still slowly. But we have other perspectives with hydrogen cars. The efficiencies are much higher. We have to look at the efficiencies. An internal combustion engine in the normalized cycle has an efficiency of 22%, roundabout. A fuel cell car, as published by Daimler, has 52%. And therefore, the energy efficiency is a completely other one. It's not only a new fuel in the case of hydrogen, it's a new technology for application. And this high efficiency will help to introduce this technology.
I would like to open the floor for your questions. So if you have any question, just raise your hand. Yes, David, you have one. Here you go.
Thank you. As the founder of the California Hydrogen Business Council, I think there's a compliment to be paid to the Germans, and that is that when you walk out of the Hamburg Central Station, walk 2 blocks to that beautiful hydrogen fueling station across the street from Der Spiegel, you can walk up to the dispenser and you can see the price of hydrogen that anybody can pay at any time. Mm-hmm. And I think it is a wonderful compliment to the German hydrogen community what you've done to try to show that hydrogen can compete as a publicly priced fuel today. And that's a lesson that the Californians can learn, because they're not so quick to tell people the prices they pay for hydrogen fuel. And until it becomes a publicly understood, clear value proposition, it's not going to succeed in either place. So I think there's something California can learn from Germany.
That's fine. Thank you for your comment.
Thank you very much for that compliment. But if you allow me, David, I have a question, because I've heard hydrogen in California is for free. Is that true?
Well, it's subsidized right now, so there are subsidized programs that come from the air quality fees. So yes, and it's part of the public initiative that way. And you know, in Toronto we have a hydrogen program where I'm trying to give away hydrogen as well. So, you know, come to Toronto. I've got lots of hydrogen to give away right now.
Very good idea.
That's the aspect which Germany can learn from California. This way.
Yes, but maybe I'm still thinking about it. What David said was not so wrong, because it's always good to show we are competitive. You know, yes. we offer hydrogen at a regular price, and it's competitive to diesel or gasoline, and it's not a funded technology, but it's a market technology.
It's very technology.
Important. Yeah, it's real technology. That's probably very important to get really on the market.
Sure. The reason why it is, hydrogen is expensive, but due to the high efficiency we need less, and therefore it compensates, and therefore it is competitive. You are completely right.
Right. Any other questions from your side? Or comments from your side? I would like to talk also with you, Mr. Töpler, about the micro CHP for households application for residential use. After, I would say, decades of testing, now the first devices are on the market. Let's say the Vito Valor 300 from Fissmann here in Germany. But again, this technology comes from Japan. It's the Anafarm from Panasonic in the end. Isn't that sad in a way?
It's correct. Japan has more than Germany, a lot of natural gas. And they have very pure natural gas because the natural gas is imported in a liquid form from Indonesia. And for liquefaction, it has to be purified. And it was very easy in Japan to introduce fuel cell because the reformation of natural gas for fuel cell is very easy in Japan. And therefore, they had the market very quick. At present, there are 40,000 households equipped with fuel cell, heat and power combination. And it was a very good step to introduce these fuel cells into the German market. And the firma Fissmann will do the reforming with natural gas on the base of German gas quality. It was a very important and very difficult step.
Quite a lot to do.
And in this combination, it can be successful on the market. It's a very fine cooperation.
Okay. There's another thing I would like to address. It is the National Innovation Program for Hydrogen and Fuel Cell Technology, the so-called NIP. It's running out next year. Everybody knows that. And many of the projects you can see are reliant on this NIP. And many say we desperately need a NIP 2. And also your association has pointed that out, strongly demanded a NIP 2. But at one time or another, the funding must end, or not?
Sure, any funding must end. It should be decreased within the introduction phase. And at the end, it should be zero. Otherwise, a product will not be suitable for market. And that's the first step. The next step is, or the other point of consideration is, we have a lot of products which are near on the market. But we need some additional work for approval for different applications and so on. And therefore, we need a market introduction program. And the program of NIP 1 was so successful that we need a longer application for this program with a slightly changed goal, more market and less less basic research. And with this, I'm very hopeful that we can come into the market.
Dr. Töpler, we very much focused on the automobile world. We're running out of time, unfortunately, but whoever wants to discuss this further with you just can visit you at your booth, at the booth of the DWV, the German Hydrogen Fuel Cell Association, at E63. This is just down the aisle over there to our left, to your right. And can follow up this discussion with you. I would like to thank you very much for this 20 minutes. We were very interesting to talk to you, and thank you for your attention.
Okay.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. And I would like to announce the next interview here on stage at 11:20. It's Alexander Zörner from the Linde Group about hydrogen refueling infrastructure and technology. So stay tuned. The next interview will start in a minute time. Thank you.